that what Karnak was all about?
Well, Karnak, okay. So again, when we're talking about Karnak, again, that was a part of these, and that was a part of Waset.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the city of the scepter. They call it city of the was.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
a scepter to
Was
us.
scepter. Yeah.
Okay, the scepter means the place of focus or energy or power, or the place, right, of what
Mm-hmm.
we would call, um, for this show, greater significance, right?
Yeah.
So this is
Okay.
what this had to do with.
Yeah.
But yes, did it have to do with medical math? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything had to do with that.
Yeah.
So as you can see, the great suits are lined up.
Mm-hmm.
This is an ancestral deal.
Yeah.
One Nasut after another Nasut after another Nasut after another. All of this goes back. These are all the Nasuts.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about math, absolutely 100%.
Yeah. Wow.
So okay, so again, um, okay, so let's take a look at this. So if you're looking at these, I mean, you got the numerals, you got number 7. Uh, we talked about the Himenu, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We talked about the Pasejet.
Yeah. It's
All these are
9.
numbers.
Yeah. The Passage is 9.
The
The Hinu
Himenu,
is 8. Right.
yep.
Um.
The Triad, which is
There's
what?
3.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
Always
right.
3. Right. Right.
Yep. Okay. You see,
Yeah.
so all those are, yeah. So
Yeah.
so yeah, numbers helps us to be able to do, in our perspective, for our perspective, is to put things into something that we can understand, like a clock, like time. So for us to be able to do that, we have to use numbers. So we have to use numbers to be able to help us to understand how many seconds there are, right? How many milliseconds in a second?
Mm-hmm.
How many seconds there are, right, in an hour?
Mm-hmm.
How many hours there are in a day? How
Mm-hmm.
many days? Okay, all these things are boiled down to numbers.
Right.
Everything boils down to
Yeah.
numbers
Yeah. Everything
because
comes
that's
down
how
numbers.
we're able to understand a
Yeah.
lifespan.
Yeah.
How we're able to understand, yeah, all that boils down to it's really really serious.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about the importance of how ancient Kemet saw numbers,
Mm-hmm.
all we did was just mirror exactly what they had already been practicing for thousands of years. That's how it
Right.
works.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. 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 And it endured. So a lot of what Pythagoras, who and the proponents of Pythagoras, who really sparked off mathematics for the West, they attributed all those things to the Greeks, right, through Pythagoras. All this understanding of math as language, when Pythagoras himself had spent like 20 years in Kemet learning math, learning mathematics from them. And one of the I wanted to introduce
He's,
this. Go ahead.
yeah, he just studied under the masters. I
Yeah.
mean, I just that's I mean, not giving any acknowledgement and how he be able to get that from in the first place.
Right.
I mean, I want to show you. Okay, so I was just reading a book today,
Mm-hmm.
an article that talks about uh, the very thought about numbers and speech and all those things come right from this very place. So
Mm-hmm.
how could and of course, everybody understands that we have a certain way of speaking, we have our own way of language,
Mm-hmm.
but they understood that this is a system that we had. We had a system.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so right, so when right, so this is exactly how it was. I want to say cookie cut, if you want. If you look at it from that perspective, it was that after another, after another, after another. So, but ancient Kemet is the basis of language.
Yes. Yes. Just hey, shout out Dr. Q's in the audience tonight, man. Just give him a shout out in the chat.
Yes, peace, brother. Thank you. Glad he's here. So yes, very very important.
Yes.
So
Yes.
again, so when we're talking about numbers again,
Yeah.
I equate everything to numbers. I didn't uh, uh, bring it up um, because okay, maybe all right. I wasn't going to do this, man.
You weren't
Okay,
gonna do
because I
this.
knew I wasn't going to. Okay, but um, let's do this. So okay, so maybe we can. You know what? Oh no, wait, maybe I gotta. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show exactly why Um, this is important, man. So let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah. Let's bring it.
All right. I didn't. Okay. So, um, all right.
Okay. Where are you at? Let me get to the folder. One sec. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
So, we can blow that up a little bit.
yeah.
All right. So, a shout out to Phoebe and Mosley for this. This is my design. How I teach my students the Pankara Shen. So, this is exactly what you're looking at. So, the pyramid, of course, we understand. We call this is numeric text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
means literally into the body. So what you're looking at is this the mental lecture for every single letter. But as you can see, there's threes.
Yeah.
That three represents number 9 once you get all the way to the top.
Mm-hmm.
That person becomes a percentage of this particular pyramid after they've completed the 3 levels. From
Mm-hmm. Okay.
one level to the second level to the third level. But
Right.
there are numbers here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So numbers are very important. Now we just talked about numbers. What does number 3 represent again?
Oh, that was the Trinity. That's the divine number. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So each and every time a person gets to this level of consciousness, they
Uh,
move to the next level.
right. Right. Right.
And they
Yeah.
reach that next level of
Right.
consciousness and they go to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is our
Uh huh.
structure. Now, I mean, there's another one. If you see it, you're gonna, man, this looks kind of crazy,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if I put it up, this is an example of why numbers is so important to ancient Kemet. You can see that we have the Bitu Netra explaining clearly why it's important to understand how we do it, because this is the ancient way,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay? But this is
Uh-huh.
the right way. And when
Yeah.
they learn it, okay, this all has to do with levels of consciousness,
Right.
okay?
Right.
But I mentioned earlier, but as you can see,
Mm-hmm.
we understood the importance of numbers, and numbers are here to show that, and that's why you see them, because of course that is an expression of the Paseja,
Yeah.
right? Meaning perfection.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay, so each of the Pasejet themselves, the Netaru themselves, somehow were a number reflection. They were also reflections of numbers, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, and we'll get into that because there's a whole like the way I'm understanding it. There's so many heavens and so many planes. And each one of these, each phase of creation, all the way through transition, all that is also tied to this numerical system.
Yes, numerology was the way for us to be able to explain a thing,
Right.
and
Okay.
that was right. And so
Uh huh.
even ancient Kemetic people had the way of explaining that, and like I mentioned before, all we have done is just mirrored exactly what they already did.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's the calendar
Mm-hmm.
of the year
Mm-hmm.
that all goes by numbers.
Yeah.
All right, it's all
Yeah.
of that explains it from every day to every month to every year. All boils down to numbers,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And so I just got to doing some research and understanding that how we looked at the numerical calendar, how we looked at the calendar of the system, and how we were able to understand things.
Right. Right. Right.
But it's very important to understand that when you do that, it helps, like I said, when you're looking at a perspective, we're looking at a lifespan, if you're looking at a person's age, if you're looking at how to be able to, I want to say either use the term of controlling something,
Mm-hmm.
or how you could be able to understand how to be able to put something into I want to call it a window, okay,
Yeah.
this window. That all has to do with numbers. And so I think what the problem
Mm-hmm.
is that we don't really see the great significance of numbers.
Right. Right.
Okay. And right, we don't really see that. But now, I'm sharing with you a little bit about history here in our training system, and it goes right back to that. But it helps us to understand how to learn or know something based on what ancient Kemetic people used to do.
Right.
And we
Right.
did that all through understanding what the nectars were.
Right. Right. Now, okay, two things. I know you got some stuff you want to introduce, but this is this the Rhind Papyrus? Just a mathematical papyrus, right? That came out of Ancient Kemet, right? And this was produced. The date they have on it is 1650 BCE. So, about what was going on in Kemet, if you know, at around this time when this was
That
produced.
was that was going into the new golden age era
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was going into the we would call the new dynasty area period.
Okay. Okay.
There's a lot of changes there.
Yeah.
And so, like everything else, yeah, it was a lot going on because, of course, the political systems was changing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a lot happening during that particular era. Yes.
Yeah, but they still managed to produce this a document like this. I mean, this is significant in terms of mathematics, like accomplishment.
Well, they were doing. I mean, there were building projects going on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Ursula Akro's temple was going up, right? You know,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, well, it was a huge thing,
Uh huh.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you. Okay, numbers is how grain was weighed.
Right.
A house of 1 and 8 every day,
Uh huh.
right? They go to the store, you only get so much that's weighed, right? And you pay for that, and that's how you eat every day.
Right. Right.
Okay, you know that. So that was, oh yeah, very important during that time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, look, I know you want to talk a little bit about some magi.
Yeah. So I mean, interested in these numbers, man.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Okay. Here's something I wanna say. I think we're gonna go into numbers on a weekly basis
Yeah.
because there's a lot of
Yeah.
layers that we can get into with numbers, and
Oh
really
yeah.
we only
Numbers.
like scratch the surface on one, and we really didn't even go into. So I think we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit about one. Obviously, that's the perfect unit. It wasn't even seen as a number. It was considered like the whole. From there, you count from one, right? So one is still a magic number too.
Yes. Remember what I said before?
Mm-hmm.
Everything after 1 is +1,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
so yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So very important. So we may get into that more, but absolutely. So I definitely I find numbers fascinating in some
Yeah,
regards.
yeah, we're gonna talk numbers. We're gonna talk numbers.